Hey everyone, happy to see you guys. I hope everybody is doing very well, and I have another message for you today. It's inspired by my recent conversation session with a client, and it's actually beyond my bedtime, but I felt like I have to share this message as soon as I can, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So it seems like the only one way, or one of the best ways to avoid regret in our lives, missed opportunities and regrets that are so painful, is to take more risk in our lives. To take more risk in life, in love, in love life. I'm coming to understanding that, it feels that the only risk we have is not to take risks. We are risking everything not by not taking risks. Because if we are not taking chances, we're gonna stay exactly where we are. When we are taking chances, we have a possibility to introduce something new to our life. And I have an example today. So I had a very interesting and insightful session with somebody who is, you would never think that that person would need advice, or advice from me in particular. It's very successful, powerful, confident person, and having all those qualities, very humble. And unfortunately, I cannot, of course, I cannot say any names. I wish I could tell you guys who that is, but it really doesn't matter. Let's say the person who looks very successful on the outside and by social standard is, but not very happy. Because happiness is an inner process, as we know. Somebody can presume that if you're successful, you're happy, but it's not always the same thing. So, I just heard the story. He shared the story with me about one mistake, one risk he didn't take, one opportunity he just ignored and denied. And right now he's really heartbroken. So he all his life he had a dream to meet a woman of certain characteristics, and in a way they are somewhat contradictory, they are somewhat very unique and unusual, and like you would think it's almost impossible to meet a lady like that. But what happens, he actually meeting her, and it takes no time for both of them to fall in love. So basically dream comes true, except that when that happens he gets afraid. He chooses career over creating a union. He basically turns her away or turns her down, loving her inside, but basically being passive, and runs away. I would say probably runs away. Maybe it's really hard to say those exact words, but I think you guys understand an idea. So something he always dreamed about basically almost knocked on his door. It was everything, from her looks to qualities she had, anything from beauty on the outer to a good heart to, a smart person. I mean, the qualities he told me she had were amazing. And they were amazing together, but it was so, he could not believe that it happened, and he was just overwhelmed, and then he stepped out in his little self, in his heartless self, and basically, he basically ran away, and those beautiful things that started to form inside of him. He was afraid he gonna be dependent. He was afraid she will affect his career in some way, that he won't be able to move and grow in his career, and all those things. He was afraid maybe she will want to have children. I mean, all those things that absolutely insane, when you meet the right person. But basically, right now he's totally heartbroken because he did achieve what he wanted. I mean, even then he was successful, but it was in the last couple of years he became really successful, and he realized that she was the only person who were in love with him, not with his social image, not thinking about uh, how successful he is financially. um, she couldn't care less about those things. She was doing very well herself, in terms she was taking care of herself, and the connection that they had was so amazing. He said, she never even asked him anything about, like, where would they live, how much he makes. They were just, there was just magic happening when they were together. So now when he became very successful, he sometimes goes out, he meets different women, but he said there is nobody even close, in any ways to that lady that he really, his heart responded to. He realized that that love was real. He was trying to convince himself back then that, oh, maybe it's just some attraction, or it just how to say this, like a seduction, or he just thought maybe it's something that is passion, that like a match, it's burns and then it's done, but he knew it wasn't. So, and it was so crazy, guys, to listen to somebody who is so bright, so aware of things, so smart and sharp, and see him completely heartbroken. So he tried to find her, he tried to reconnect with her, but it was too late. She was very hurt, and she moved on with her life. And basically his life right now has been mostly regrets, and that's what he told me. He said, the main lesson I'm learning right now is that when you are lucky to step, when you are lucky to be introduced, when the possibility finds you, when you find, when something comes your way. Sorry, guys, I'm tired again. So when something comes your way, goes, something you dream about, basically, you design this amazing thing and it comes right to you. Don't close the door in front of that. Take that risk, because there is, he said risk like doesn't exist, because if you don't take a chance, the answer always no. When you take so-called risk, you actually having a chance to do things the way you the way you dreamed about them. You have a possibility of change, you have a possibility of things coming your way. Because, I mean, again, if you're not doing anything, the answer is no. So he realized he overlooked a beautiful treasure, somebody who was real, somebody with who he was connecting, somebody with who he wouldn't care if he, you know, lose all his money or his company goes down. He told me I wouldn't care, and she wouldn't care either. I mean, that was something totally amazing. And right now he learning this lesson the hard way, and I actually think he is probably going to go to some special therapy, because he's really in a situation where he needs some serious help. He looks great on the outside, you would never say, but he's very strong, and he's trying to hopefully recover after that, hopefully find somebody similar. But he said that the pain of regret is the most painful thing on the planet. He said the disappointment from taking risk, or if you get hurt taking risk, is nothing compared to pain of regret, where you had a chance and you did not use it. So, you know, it's hard for me, guys, to tell you like all the details, but I'm sure you understand the moral of the story. You know, when you dreamed about something and something amazing just come in your way and comes, you know, just comes effortlessly, don't let that go. You know, work for it, fight for it. Don't let anybody take that, and don't let that go yourself. It might be only happening once in a lifetime, and it probably is. So don't overlook the treasure. And I believe we can stay away from our, you know, from decisions when we that keeps us stuck. I think going for it will reduce dramatically the possible amount of remorse and regrets. Oh my gosh, what can be worse than realize, you know, in your midlife, in the end of your life, later on, whatever age you are, that your life is a regret. So go for those chances, guys. I'm sorry my video is so hectic. I am really tired, but I just have to tell you, don't let beautiful things, don't let them go away. Fight for them. Thank you.